all that shit. Oh, we're up.
Oh my god, what if that's the thing now?
God, I hope so. God, I hope
Story
so.
of my life. Story of my life.
God, where
The
is
story of my life should be written into a book so I can be a Libriomancer and pull things out from it.
Of your own life?
Uh-huh. Whoa. That
Whoa.
would be like,
Whoa.
would that be Inception-y? That would
A
be
little.
It is
totally
Inception-y.
What is our document called? I can't even find it.
Pancake Sex Book Club?
Yeah, Pancake Sex
Just
Book
look
Club.
up pancake sex.
Sure.
There it is.
Kind of like when you guys were like, what time is it? I'm like, calendar?
I
No,
was
sorry.
driving. I'm sorry.
I forgot it existed. I have no defense. I was like, oh yeah.
I just Sunday schooled. Leave me alone.
Super great. Super great.
Oh.
Okay, I'm hosting,
Also,
right?
hi.
Yes, you're
I
hosting.
picked-
Hi, people.
I picked
Best
the book.
host.
Hello. We're here for Pancake Sex Book Club. We read Libriomancer by Jim Hines. Tell us what you thought, Ness.
And what you're drinking.
Oh, I'm just drinking apple cider because it's 2 in the afternoon.
Yeah, I'm only drinking iced tea. It's not very exciting.
I've
Yeah.
got beer. Y'all are not prepared.
You have a problem. You have a problem, Isabel.
Or a solution.
You have a problem.
Solution.
There might
Maybe a
be
solution.
bourbon in here, so that's okay.
Oh, Izzy, I have to tell you, I met Boots at PAX.
I know you did. And I
did.
yelled at him. I was like, I hate you.
We
I was like, quit hanging out with my girls, Tony. Get away.
Well, I had fun. It was great to meet him. Our silent producer.
Yes.
Anyway, tell us, Libriomancer. Oh, I tried, you guys. I really did.
I mean, it was better than my pick last time, so there was that.
This is like a solid 3.
It's a solid 2.
2.5. I would say 2.5. Like, it's totally right in the middle.
It's a solid
Yeah.
Eh.
Hey, A plus
Yeah.
concept. A plus concept.
Yeah, dug
Yeah.
the concept, hated the execution.
Yes.
Sorry, Jim
No,
Hines.
I agree. I agree, unfortunately.
I really wanted this book to be really good because there's more of them, so I was like, yes, book magic, this is awesome. And then it wasn't.
It wasn't awesome.
Should we give people a quick plot rundown?
The rundown, yeah. The concept is that there's magic in the world, and most people access it by pulling things out of books. So, say
But
I'm
it can't be
reading-
an object, like, bigger than the book.
Right, like you literally pull it out of the pages.
Mhm.
So, if I'm trying to access, like, I don't know, if I'm reading a Star Trek novel, I could pull a phaser out and use that phaser,
Mhm.
and then I could stick it back in and be done with it. And there's some, like, yeah, that's right. The mechanic about, like, if you don't put it back, it causes rifts in the fabric of reality. So most
Or if you use a book too many
that.
times.
Yeah, the book will actually burn out if you
Mhm.
use it too many times. And there's also a mechanic where you can lock a book so that any copy of that book you cannot use magic with anymore. Like, the premise is that Gutenberg was kind of this sorcerer who sort of created this society of Libriomancers. I know.
Which I love. Like, I love that
I
idea
love it in
so
concept.
much.
Love it in concept. But he he basically, right, he created the printing press, so he made multiple copies of books, and then what I love is that he immediately locked them down so only he could use them. So, like, he printed billions of Bibles, but then no one can use them but him.
That's right.
Yeah, because he pulled out, oh God. Shows my Bible knowledge. The Cup of Life thing. The Holy Grail, right?
Real?
Yeah, there you go. I have
Yes.
0 Bible knowledge, people.
Come on, you should have Indiana Jones knowledge at least.
Yeah,
I've
right?
never seen those.
Seriously. What?
Get out. Stop book club immediately. Go watch those.
Yeah, I'm sorry, we cannot
Bye.
continue.
No.
We cannot continue at this point.
I'll
Not
watch
having
them
seen
eventually.
Indiana
I have
Jones.
them. I just have to actually put them. I mean, I've seen like bits and pieces. Let me put it that way.
My
And I've seen
mouth
the really shitty one with Shia LaBeouf. Boof.
No.
Yeah,
No!
Ugh.
I know.
Oh, no.
That's why I have to go back and watch the other ones. I will.
Yes, only a penitent
happened?
man can pass. They even made the joke in the DLC for Dragon Age. Did you find that, Ness?
Yes, and it was so good.
So good. Yeah, so
Um,
Gutenberg magic books, and the main guy is one of these magicians who has been ousted because he did bad things, and is now working as a librarian, just sort of cataloging books that could be used for magical purposes, which to me seems like it could be basically any book, but whatever. Sci-fi books, more dangerous, I guess.
Yeah.
And because they have phasers. And he also has a pet spider that he saved that's like a fire spider. Did he ever say what book it came out of? I don't remember.
No.
I don't think so.
But it's a little spider that sets things on fire, which is really adorable. That he saved out, that he never put back into the magic book. And then the premise is that, so what happens is people can become vampires if they accidentally reach into a book and their hand gets bitten by a vampire. Like, that's what happens. And then they get turned into vampires. So there's like Stephanie Meyer vampires in the world.
Yeah.
And there's Charlene Harris vampires in the world.
And Rice vampires. It's
yeah,
amazing.
Yeah,
it's
like
great.
it's really clever. It's really clever. But unfortunately, the writing's not so good. But then the vampires like start a fight because then it turns out that there's been an infiltration of the Porters, which is like the group of magic librarians and chaos and
I think we're good. I think that about sums it up, yeah?
yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Ness, do you have any other
Fighting
opinions?
happens.
I
Lots of fightings.
think just sums it up really well.
It's so disappointing.
It's super I was super disappointed. The concept is so good, and like I love the idea that the more people read a book and the more people believe in the book, the stronger the magic from the book is. So good, but so not good in the execution.
Yeah, agreed. Like the writing feels just very first book writing.
Yeah. Also, first person, not my jam.
Yeah, the first person in it threw me off in some ways.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes the writing felt disconjointed with it being first person. Like, does that mean, like, it just didn't mesh right when I was reading it. I wanted to like it so hard, like, so bad. I was like, this is going to be great. Like, I'm looking at the reviews, and a lot of people loved it, and I was like, cool, this is going to be good. And as I kept reading it, and I kept putting it down and reading other things, which is always a sign to me that a book is, like, terrible.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, and it's that thing of, like, A+, like, concept and idea, but, like, total C on the execution.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't even equal out to, like, a B-, though. It's like a solid C because of the bad execution. You're just like, this is not entertaining. I didn't even finish it. I was trying to finish it today, and I kept just, like, zoning out reading it.
Yeah, I read to the last chapter and just read that.
Yeah,
I actually was about to do that, and then I was like, I got 10 minutes, whatever.
Yeah.
And it feels like a longer book than it is, which is never a good thing. Like,
no, it's only 300 words or 300 pages.
I know, and we read tons of long books, I'm sure. And they just, go by. I mean, Outlander feels long, but that book's massively long.
And terrible.
But it still flew by when I read it, though. It wasn't like, even like Game of Thrones, like Fire and Ice, I've read, and those don't drag like this.
No.
And they're
War and Peace.
Yeah. This is bad.
Yeah, this just kind of felt like, is it over yet? Can I be done yet? Like, I listened to it on audio, and while flying, and I kept falling asleep, like...
Oh, no!
Well, I probably have only read about half this book, really, but it's somehow in my dreams. But then what would happen was I would wake up and not have any trouble understanding what was happening, which to me is like nothing happened in the time I was asleep.
No.
It's a lot.
There was a lot of nothing happening.
It was a lot of descriptions and a lot of nothing. Like a lot of nothing in the descriptions.
Yeah, it felt
like I'd be reading them and I'm like, this is no value at all. It should have been like a novella and then went on to a series almost.
Yeah, that's my hope, is that because it was his first novel, maybe the series gets better over time as he settles into his writing career. Like, it just felt very, I don't know, awkward. But
I have to say, I give him mad props for the amount of research he had to have done to write this book.
The history in this is really great, and the amount of like different books that he pulled from was really great as well.
That distracted me a lot, though, too.
It made me want to go off and read those other books.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I was like, oh, I need to write this down so I can go read this book. Oh, I need to write this down so I can read this book.
Yeah, it made me want to go read everything that he was talking about and getting into.
I want to go reread Harry Potter now because of him.
Totally.
I've been working through it again this year.
Nice.
All right,
It's
should we do the
nice.
questions?
Yeah, I think we should run right into those.
Questions.
They really address all of our issues.
They do. Question 1, do you want your own smudge?
Yes, duh,
Yes.
obviously. I don't even like spiders, and I want one.
I don't either, and I was like, I want one of these.
I want a fire
Candy.
spider.
He eats candy.
He eats
It's adorable.
candy.
It's adorable. Okay,
And
good.
he's
Good
so
question.
loyal. No, that's a great question. He's so loyal. I don't even know
Yeah.
what book he came from, but he
was
has
my
to
second favorite character. In the
right?
Mhm.
Which should
Like-
tell you something. He has
Yeah.
no lines.
He has no dialogue.
He doesn't do anything
But
except
if you
catch fire.
shrink down, he'll let you ride on him too, which is awesome.
Yes.
Yes,
That's
but also kind of gross because he sticks you with webbing.
Yeah, but I'd still totally do it.
Oh yeah,
I
obviously.
don't like spiders, but I would use some Alice in Wonderland magic to shrink down and ride on his back.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, that'd be rad.
Mm-hmm.
All right, is Libriomancy a neat magic power, and would you take it if someone offered it to you?
Yes. Both yes.
100%.
I want book magic for real.
I say yes, but then also no, because like he talks about pulling wands out of Harry Potter and not being able to use them. So like there's certain things you couldn't pull out of cool books and use.
And there's always the vampire risk. Like,
Okay,
you
but that
cannot
just takes
stick
like
your hand
not
into
fucking
any book.
like that just makes sure you read the right book.
Right,
and
don't
the
read
right
Twilight
page.
and you'll be fine.
Yeah,
That
but
seems
Twilight,
like a
you just sparkle
no-brainer.
like diamonds, whatever. You can just be like, I'm sparkly distraction everywhere I go.
That's right.
And drink blood, but whatever. That's fine.
Yeah, you drink bloods out of
Yeah.
animals. That's what they
Well,
do
and
in
the whole
Twilight.
plague thing, like, that's upsetting. Like, I really like to read post-apocalyptic novels, but I might not if I was a Libriomancer.
Well, then don't magic it then.
I might give that a pass. But it's like, one of the cool mechanics in the book is that you can do it on accident, especially before you know how to control
Yeah.
it. You know, it's like if you have it and you don't know, you can just stick your hand in a book and, oh shit, now I have the plague. And
Now I'm a
doing
werewolf.
lovely. I have Captain Trips. That would be a that's bad.
I feel like
Definitely
it would be
downside.
cool, but I wouldn't want to be part of the Porter Society stuff at all.
No way, I'm not trusting those people.
Yeah, so I feel like if you did this, like they would cap your magic powers, and you'd be like Charles and like get injured and suddenly realize you had these powers that were stolen from you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I want it, but
Yeah,
I
they
don't.
like to
I want it
break
on the
people's
condition I
memories
don't
and
have to be
shit.
a porter. Then we're good.
As usual, ultimate power corrupts. All right, next question. I want to like Lena, but then I get annoyed by the references to her being from a book and not capable of real choice. Yes, and I think I actually wrote a very similar book question. Like,
I think so.
did her trait of how she just conforms to her partner, like she becomes what her partner wants, creep you out at all?
Yeah.
That kind of
I
all
feel
goes
like-
together.
I feel like the author was trying to subvert that kind of trope, but didn't quite get there. I just felt grossed out by her character the whole
Yeah,
time.
I liked her, and then I'd get weirded out by her, and then I'd like her again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then I would just be like, okay, so she's making choices. Like, she made the choice to take Isaac to Nicola.
Mm-hmm.
She made that choice. She made a choice. Like, she didn't just, like, they act like she can't make a fucking choice. And she makes choices all the goddamn time. And I'm
Yeah.
like, stop. Stop saying she can't make a choice, because she's obviously doing this.
Yeah, it's kind of an uneven
It was just, like,
character trait.
driving me up the wall as I read. I just kept being like, okay, here you are, like, oh, she's like Smudge, she's just loyal to me, blah, blah, blah. I put these glasses on, there's this little line pointing to me from her, and I don't know, am I da-da-da? And you're just like, dude, she's making, like, choices right in front of your fucking face. Like, open your eyes. Watch her do things that you don't tell her to do.
It just didn't seem like she had any agency at all.
No.
Yeah.
It was
And then-
so back and forth.
The agency they did give her, I'm skipping around in questions, at the very end was this question, weird polyamory grossness. Like, that's the agency she got?
Right.
Was at the end of the book, she's like, I want to date you both. That was her agency.
Right.
Like,
I want to be clear. I wrote that question. Polyamory was not the grossness part.
No,
How
no,
he
it
wrote
wasn't.
it was gross.
It's how
Yeah.
how
was
she's
portrayed was gross.
portrayed as
Yeah.
no choices, and then that's the choice you're giving her. Like it's a
yeah.
weird. It's just weird. It was
She's
weird.
compelled to date two people, and that's how she can have a whole self. Ew. Like,
Yeah. Ew.
none of it felt good to me. It all felt creepy and sort of coerced to me.
Yeah.
And that's not That's not good. It didn't feel like she had a safe word. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah. Yeah. Which I think was kind of the point, but it was gross. I did not...
But that's not cool. Like,
no.
writing a woman with no agency because reasons is gross.
Right. Well,
and
it's
the
still
reasoning
a woman with no agency.
Wasn't backed up either, in a way, at all. So that's what made it, like, even, like, if he consistently didn't have her make choices, we would be like, okay, it's because she's from a book. But because she makes choices and then doesn't, you're like, well, what is it? Is it she can or she can't?
It's like she can only not make choices regarding her love life.
Partner, which
is gross.
But she kind of did make the choice on her love life a little bit.
But not
really. Like, when she thought, she did, but I know, it's so fucking weird. This is what I mean. Like, I'm like...
Well, and it's like, in the end, it's implied that the only way she becomes a full person is if she forcibly dates more than one person at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, ew. Like, I don't want that to be a non-consensual arrangement that you're forced to do so that you have any personhood.
It's gross.
No, it's fucked up. It was just, it was disappointing because, like, when she first fucking showed up, you were like, fuck yeah, she's gonna be badass. Right? And then you were just immediately like, fuck. And then she came from the Gore books, which I've never read, but I've heard so much shit about. I almost picked that for this next month, by the way.
Oh.
I was this close.
But then we would have to buy those and give them money, and that's...
For the love of God, no.
Yeah. I came close. I was like, I should pick one of those. And then I started reading reviews, and I was like, oh no, never mind.
I must have slept through that, because that makes sense, and that is horrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah, she comes
know the premise of the Gore books?
I've read about them and had other people talk about how crazy weird they are. And they're from, like, I know they're old as shit, so that's
Ancient.
part of it.
They're from that period of sci-fi where men were gross about things, and they're like, it's sci-fi, so reasons, I can write whatever the fuck I want, and women can do whatever I want them to.
Mm-hmm.
Gore is like a planet opposite Earth that we never knew was there because it's completely opposite us in orbit, so the sun blocked it or whatever. I'm not stupid. But the planet is like all women are enslaved.
Mm-hmm.
They're compelled to be sex slaves at all times, and there's like positions that they have to sit in all the time, like position 1, position 2, position 3, and they have
it's not fucking ballet, people.
And I've never read them because ew, but there are people who live the even.
Wait, there's people who live that lifestyle?
Oh yes, it's a whole thing.
Ew.
It's a whole thing in the community. It's a small
I'm guessing that's a very small part because I've never heard about that part.
I try not to judge kink, and if it's consensual, whatever, you all get down with your bad selves. But the books are not particularly consensual, and so her coming out of that like makes it grosser to me.
Yeah, she came out of like the second or third book in that series.
So much grosser.
Which then I was also like, oh my god, how much of this series is this dude read? After I
read right? Seriously.
You have a moment of like, oh no.
I appreciate the attempt to, like, I don't know, bring uncommon relationship styles into books. I really do appreciate that, but this was not executed very well, as like the rest of the book. It was not executed in a way that made me feel comfortable. All right. Good. Is Isaac a likable character? I think that's an important question. Because I'm not sure.
I didn't particularly like him. He seemed very, like, like, typical. The way that they described in that creepy World War I book, that the
Charles
and the Nazis.
Yeah, like the way that they described the main dude in that kind of, like a cisgendered white anti-hero, yay American dude. I was like, I've seen this guy before. I'm over him.
I felt like I didn't know what Isaac looked like beyond the fact that he wore a jacket like the Doctor.
Right.
Like, straight up, like that's all I fucking know about how that dude looks, which is weird.
Yeah.
Let's be real. Like most books, even first person, you usually know how the main character like kind of
looks. And
he's
skinny.
Oh yeah, and then he's skinny.
Yeah.
So I just imagined like the biggest nerdy dude.
Well, I mean, there is some implication
like big ass
he's about as nerdy
you know what I
as they
mean?
get because
yeah,
he's read a lot of sci-fi novels. I'm just saying. Like,
well, yeah, I know, but like that didn't. I felt that, but I just imagined like.
Oh, you know what I'm saying.
The biggest.
Saying Amelia.
You know
basement nerd ever.
Well, it's
Yeah,
true.
like-
And what Lena does make the comment about his people skills not being great.
Yeah. He's like
And
the
that's
biggest
pretty
face
clear.
nerd ever.
He is. And the other thing, I think there's
And
another
maybe that's
thing
part
I
of why he doesn't appeal to us, though, because he was maybe written to appeal to a more male audience.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and that led into my other question about Isaac was, does he seem like a creepy about women to you? Because
Yes.
there were a lot of comments that made me like, ew, like uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, I'm looking at her body parts and
Right.
I
There
don't
was
know.
a lot of mention of like Lena touching him in non-sexual ways and him being like, and now I've got a boner.
Yeah. Yeah, like a lot of times.
Yeah.
Like
Which is not
kind of
how
like the
that works.
stereotypical nerd, right? Who like can't handle himself around
Yeah.
women.
Yeah, it felt a little bit like a puppy's book, which made me sad.
That is really sad. I
Yeah.
did not
Mhm.
know that was coming.
And I think that might have also played into my like being put off by him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because in
Yes.
some ways, I'd rather read like when we read Succubus Blues, like the male romance interest in that was much like he was pretty like beta male, like not the alpha male type at all. But he was written really well where you liked him.
Mhm.
And then a lot of books you read, are alpha male types, which is fine. And like usually that's a little bit less off-putting than this like weird in between that you're just not really sure what to think.
It was like he was just sort of virginal and didn't know how to handle
Mhm.
women and was super obsessed with them. Was how
Right.
it came off to me. You know, like
Me too. And like he felt entitled to Lena.
yes,
Mhm.
exactly. Which
Like she kissed me, so that means everything else we should be able to do anything now because she said yes that one time.
Yeah, it was.
yuck.
Yeah, did not like.
No. No, it's very disappointing. Very disappointing. Did all the book references bug you? Was it distracting?
No, I enjoyed that. I wish there would have been. Well, now I take it back. Maybe there was a little too much of that and not enough action. Like he spent a lot of time describing other books, and
Mhm.
if you took all of that out, there wouldn't be a whole lot of Jim Hines's book left.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Well, and I felt like it was almost too much of a vehicle. Like, I mean, it's obviously the point of Libriomancy is to pull shit out of books. But describing these other books felt like almost too much. But it was kind of cool because you're like, wow, he put a lot of work into this.
Yeah.
But then
well,
I
you
was
can
also
tell he has
like,
a
I want to
passion.
write down all these fucking books and go look them up
Mhm.
and shit. But then other times I was like, okay, can we just fucking pull something out of a book and go? Like, let's go.
We
Go
gotta read
save
the whole
people.
backstory on what's in the book to tell me
Mhm.
there's a thing in the book. You can just tell me there's a thing in this book. Go.
Yeah,
You know.
exactly.
Yeah. It is a great reading list, though.
Well, besides
Nothing
gore, don't read that.
Don't do that. But otherwise, yeah, it's a pretty great reading list of good classic sci-fi and other
Mhm.
kinds of books that are just really great, really fun. Okay, let's see. Oh, voice acting. Do you guys want to hear a little sample of the voice acting?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, I don't, but yes.
Yes,
no.
yes, I do.
Okay, I'm gonna play it. I don't know how well this is gonna work, but let's see.
Deb turned to Lena. How did you end up here? Just in
Oh.
time to rescue Isaac from these vampires.
Listen to
He
Lena.
was the closest porter I thought I could trust. Lena said a little too quickly.
Can you believe Lena's voice?
That's,
What
That's
the
gross.
fuck?
She's like super nasal. Like that's how she sounds. Like I hated
Yeah.
her from the first minute, and I knew it wasn't her fault. It was the narrator's fault. But
Right.
oh my god, her
Oh, that's bad.
Okay, just
female
Adam Howden
voices.
read everything, please.
Right?
Thank
Yes,
you.
please. Yes,
Right.
please. Like it was bad to the point of like I don't like these characters because their voices are awful. Isaac's voiced fine, but any female character is I don't know. It's like a bad parody of voice acting.
Yeah, it's like weird, breathy, gross.
Like the first one was like some fake New York accent that sounds really bad. And then Lena is like so nasal. I don't even know how he did that for an entire book. Like she's so nasal. Ugh. Hate. Anyway,
Ugh.
do not listen to this book if you're interested in it. Definitely read it on paper.
Yeah, read it. Yeah, don't listen. You got to be careful with what books you fucking listen
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
Also, if
Okay.
you want to read this book, like, tweet at me. I'll lend it to you through Amazon. Don't buy this
Yeah,
book.
or me, I have it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like maybe don't buy it.
Don't buy it.
Don't buy it.
Deeply regret
Okay.
that.
Next, automatons fucked up concept, yeah?
Dude.
Like, I will say about this book, like, the ideas are really good and really interesting.
Yeah.
And the characters are awful and unlikable.
I wish he would have
done.
done like the Expanse guys, where there was one guy who thought of it and then he got an author to write it.
Right?
Is
Totally.
that what
Like,
they did? I know nothing.
Yeah,
about how
yeah,
they wrote
it's
The
two.
Expanse.
It's two guys. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I never look into the authors. I'll just read a book and love it. And like that was a book I fucking loved. They're coming out with a TV show.
I know. I'm
They
so
are
excited.
very excited. I'm very excited the Indian lady is getting a big role because she's amazing. She's amazing.
So excited about all this. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, those are good books. Read
Go
them.
read those. Go read the
Read
Expanse
the
books.
Expanse novels.
Oh,
Very
yeah.
worth your time. This one no. But it's a fucked up concept. Like Gutenberg basically trapped 12 people into these automatons.
He made them
Bible
slaves.
quotes
Let's
and
be
shit.
real.
Right.
Yeah. For like
kind of-
centuries.
Right. Well, it kind of reminded me of because I'm Dragon Age trash right now. The golems in Dragon Age,
Yes,
like from
totally.
Origins, where Carradine is just stealing people and putting them into these bodies and forcing them to fight.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and then you wonder, like, was there any agreement to this, or did he just literally like grab these people and stuff them in there?
I'm not sure
Right.
there was. And I mean, we already know that the other thing they do is they wipe memories. So
Mhm.
if they're willing
Right.
to do that, he's probably willing to do just about anything. Like, he doesn't seem to have a concept of humanity at this point. So magic corrupts, power corrupts. Okay, therapy / confidentiality grossness.
Yeah. So the part where the vampires take the doctor
Mm-hmm.
and force her to breach confidentiality and talk, and then like Lena reading all of her like it was just gross.
Yeah.
Do not
Yeah,
like
it
that.
felt weird.
Not like,
And unnecessary. Like, why did
Yeah.
you do this? Why did you do this thing?
maybe he has a bitterness against a therapist or something.
Oh, I guess, but it was gross.
Making stories up. Yeah, no, it's gross. It's gross because therapy, it's such an important relationship. And no therapist would do that.
No, and they didn't really even explain like why, how they're just like they said she needed to do it and she did it, but like why did she do
I
that?
feel like
Yeah.
there should have been more implied, like, you have to do this for her with the vampire things. Like, they threatened her more or something serious enough that, like, she would do it, I guess, or brainwashing. Like, they're fucking vampires, people. Come on now.
Yeah,
Right. Like when you see her, she's dirty, but she seemed fine.
Mm-hmm.
Like, maybe they just rolled her around in some dirt and mud. And, like,
They're
Yeah.
like, you there, go roll around in this mud pile until you decide you want to talk to us about this.
ugh,
Yeah.
yeah, gross. It doesn't make you feel safe, you know?
Yeah.
And then, changing subject, I actually really loved, and I wanted you guys to comment on the character of Ponce de Leon. And
Yes.
the car that
He
he
was-
had.
The best part of this book.
Hands down the best part of the book.
But
Like,
then
every
I
time
also
he
was getting
there.
annoyed because I wanted to be like, dude, you need to tell us more.
Yeah.
Like, this last part where I had read where he showed up right before they found the automaton, like, I was like, you're not, like, you should fucking be sharing more of this shit, dude. Like, stop being so quiet. You need to just
Yeah,
show up,
there's-
like, 20
yeah.
minutes ago and, like, help him more.
There's no reason for him to be as cagey as he is, really, except that that's just kind of who he is.
Yeah, which
Super
is fun,
cagey.
though. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's
Yeah.
super fun. But I'm just like, I wanted him to show up more.
Yeah. Like, he was by far my favorite sort of antagonistic, helpful person. And he has this crazy tricked out magic car that was really cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Which,
they're
you know what? You wonder how, like, Isaac really got all that shit for that car? Like, I wish they would have talked about that more, even.
Well, I think
like-
most of it was Ponce de Leon's.
Well, and how he
stole
stole it
But
from.
how
Yeah,
did
I'd
he
love to
steal
know how he
it?
Steal that car. Let's have the heist story of how he stole the car.
Would love to know that story because Ponce was pissed.
Yeah, he was.
And he's like super powerful dude, somehow trapped in Spain or whatever. I don't know. You think
Yeah,
he would
he's
have figured that
relegated
out
to
by
not
now.
leave Spain by Gutenberg.
Yeah.
It's probably some Bible curses.
Gutenberg is like, I don't know, the ultimate asshole.
Dude loves the
As far as I can
Bible
tell.
and using it to do things.
Okay, last question. Ableism.
Gross. So there's a lot of that in this book. There's a lot of grossness in this book that didn't hit me as I was reading it, but then when I was thinking about it later, being like, they're like, why is the head of the Porters such a jerk? Oh, she's autistic, that's why.
Oh God.
Gross.
Ew.
Like, why? Why
Oh
you do
yeah, I
this?
just read that part. Oh my god, that didn't even click. Holy shit, that didn't click for me until you just said that.
Ew.
And I read that and I was like, that's weird. Like, and I read, you know what I mean? Like, you read it and you're like, this is fucking weird. Like, that's a weird excuse.
Right?
And you're right. Oh my god.
It makes me feel like I'm okay that I slept through quantities.
Oh.
It makes me mad that I spent $7.99 on this book.
No, for real.
I know.
I spent a credit on Audible. That is a precious gold item.
Oh, guys.
Offended. All right.
This is just, like, depressing.
Don't read this book.
Yeah,
I
guys,
read it
don't.
even more now than when this started.
I
Yeah.
know. And unlike Eternal Highlander, this one's just fucking depressing because we're like, holy shit.
Eternal Highlander was so bad that it was fun to talk about how bad it was.
Yeah.
No, this is bad in a depressing way.
Right.
I think it's because we expected a lot more,
Yes,
especially
for one
because
thing.
some of the reviews for it on Goodreads made
Yeah.
me think there's no fucking way this could be this could go wrong. But then I remembered, as Ness said, her Eternal Highlander had really good reviews.
It had 4 stars. Like, how did that even happen?
I'm really disturbed by the taste of people on Goodreads at this point.
Seriously.
I am too sometimes, I'm not gonna lie. I've read some really crazy shit. Just for but I'll just read that stuff to read it because I think it's hilarious. Like some of the really bad romance novels, I think they're hilarious to read. So it's just
I can
entertaining.
almost forgive that, and this one makes me even madder.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
At least that you're like, okay, well they tried. They were super trying hard.
Yeah. Well,
And I feel like he half tried. Because he put so much research in. How do you put this much, this dude had to have a crazy, amount of shit going on in his notes for this book, okay? There's no way you could write this book without a ton of notes and all this stuff put in, and it's almost like when he got to writing it, he just was like, fuck.
You know what gets me too is I've read the author's blog off and on over the years, and he strikes me as very feminist. He did a series of pose like the girls on romance covers that some of the authors did a while back, look at how stupid these poses are, and he did them, and that I did not expect to encounter this level of discomfort with the way he writes women in this book from what I know of the author. So I think that's part of my irritation is what?
It's true. None of the women were well written in this book. They were all kind of cardboard cutouts of terrible tropes of women.
Yeah. And just used badly and commented on creepily and...
Did you catch where he calls that super powerful older female vampire? She's hot for her age. I was like, that is weird.
No, see, that's
why would
the kind
you
of
do
crap.
that?
That's the kind of crap where I'm like, why? You sound like a 17-year-old boy. What is your issue? That is not okay. You are an adult.
Also, that's not a people out there, that is not a compliment. Saying somebody is attractive for her age is not a compliment.
No.
Stop.
Just
don't do that.
Don't talk.
I'm looking at the cover for the last book, apparently, in this series. Apparently, he's won Hugo Awards.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
And the dude in the cover, totally looks like a David Tennant wannabe.
Oh, yeah.
Of course he does.
Skinny, doctor-looking dude with a doctor coat. Yeah. Totally.
There you go. There's the last book cover. I linked it to you guys. It's
He's nothing
spectacular.
like David Tennant. Nothing like David Tennant.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's like half David Boreanaz and half David Tennant.
Yeah.
It's just enough where you're like, no.
It's the uncanny valley of David Tennant.
Yeah, fucking stop. No.
Yeah.
Make me mad.
My heart.
Tiny David Tennant's mad. He's mad, guys.
Is that Lena?
Yeah, apparently.
What?
Well, she's pretty.
But
happy to-
she's supposed to be, that woman is skinny as all get out. She is supposed to be heavy set.
Yeah, well.
Let's see.
See, man, if you had described this book to me, I would have been 110 in. Heavyset heroine.
Look at her on this.
Cool, poly.
The second cover with her, it looks a little better. She looks not heavy set.
No, she's still
wider.
She's still slender.
Ugh.
Ish.
She's supposed to be Grecian, the ancient Greece look.
Yeah.
She
I
is
know.
not in either of those covers.
Also, she
And then
changes
suddenly in the
race.
4th book, she's really
Yeah, she
smart.
changes race. That is
Yeah,
weird.
I
That made me a
don't
little bit
understand
uncomfortable.
what's happening.
Maybe that's not her, though. Maybe
Maybe
that's
it's not
somebody
her.
else.
It's possible. It's possible. Because that's weird. Or,
It
I
doesn't
don't know.
say if that's her in the on the description, so I'm not sure.
I mean, she's
But
holding
yeah,
a sword,
I
but-
think in the 2nd book that's supposed to be her, and she's not. Like, I was imagining like pear-shaped, like kind of muscular girl, like a Wonder
Mhm.
Woman-esque, I guess. Like
Mhm.
maybe not. I don't think she's really tall, if I remember correctly, but definitely like broader shoulder. Just more like built, I guess, like a scary lady.
Right, 'cause she's
like, oh my God,
strong.
I'm running away.
Yeah. She'd kick
Tiny
your
me is
ass.
running exactly. So Tiny Me's running the fuck away,
Right.
not like is that her befriending to be like protect me.
Here in the review, someone's already like bitching that Lena looks too skinny in these covers.
Good.
Good.
Man,
'Cause she
everything
does.
about this book was supposed to
That
be
drives
good,
me
and it
nuts when books do that. And they're like, this person's bigger, and then the cover is just a fucking regular model, and I'm like,
Yep.
don't tell me the main character's bigger, and then show me some skinny ass bitch on the cover.
Also, the way she's just I'm thinking about this. The way she's described is like typical bigger girl. Like she's bigger, but she's got a pretty face, so it's okay.
Right. And a huge
Oh, you're right. Oh my God.
Yep.
Pros.
I'm so mad about this book.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so mad.
I revised my opinion of this book downwards the more we talk about it.
It's like I didn't really think it through. He hit it. It's the cool magic book shit.
Right? I was like, sweet book magic.
Ugh,
Yeah. So much grossness.
that is disappointing.
I'm mad I stopped playing Dragon Age for this book.
I know, right?
I went out this morning and was reading it in the car, like on our drive, and I was like, this fucking book.
I'm sorry, guys. It was not intentional. I mean,
I know.
if you
It
just
wasn't
describe
because we all were expecting.
It looked like
way
it was
different.
gonna be good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe, I mean, I don't know. We're just a bunch of critical bitches, but it's okay.
No. This is beyond our crankiness. This is not good.
It's your,
Yeah.
Listen, I'm the cranky bitch. Amelia
Yeah.
usually is not the cranky bitch.
I'm
I
usually more
usually
accepting.
like most of what we
You
read.
two are both like, I can find some things to enjoy about this book.
Yeah.
It's not super terrible, and no, it's terrible.
No, this one was terrible in ways that are very personally annoying to me.
Yes.
I feel like this one is like the Highlander was terrible in ways that are just like this is terrible writing and it's a
And
terrible
hilarious.
plot and hilarious. This one is terrible in ways that are actually damaging.
Yeah, exactly. Like the Highlander didn't hurt anybody's like perceptions of how women should be, really. Because
Right.
nobody's gonna read that and go, "Women are like this." Like no one,
Mm-hmm.
no one, or men,
think-
or anyone, really.
Right.
I think we got it. I think we should probably end because we're just gonna keep
Yes.
going with it.
Minus 10 to this book. Izzy, you're our next pick, and we might have some new members on board.
Yeah.
We were losing Melissa, which is tragic, but she has
For now,
a
but she
job
could
or
come
whatever.
back. Yeah, she's got shit going on.
Jobs.
It's cool. Next month, I think we're gonna do the third Sunday of every month. Is
We're gonna
the
try.
plan? We're gonna try for the third Sunday of every month.
Right.
We'll see since we're gaining some new people, so that could change. But we are going to read Kiss of Steel by Beck McMaster. I had to go read it. I'm like, wait, what is her last name's weird. Anyways, Beck McMaster, and it is a London steampunk book, which we haven't read steampunk yet. And I've read some good steampunks, so hopefully this doesn't disappoint us. And that would be, we should be back hopefully October 18th or 25th for the next hangout.
All right, sounds good.
New people.
Thanks for reading this awful book with me, guys.
Yeah, thank you all for watching. Goodbye.